There are 5 things that make a good NFL head coach. I'm going to list them in order of priority. Number 1, the most important thing, they need to understand that they are the CEO of their football team. I think maybe a better way is captain. The best analogy I can think of is that an NFL head coach needs to be kind of like the captain of a pirate ship. On a pirate ship, the captain is not your buddy. You're a little bit intimidated. You're a little bit scared of him. The killers and thieves on your pirate ship need to respect that the captain is the baddest dude of them all. You got to respect him. You got to fear him a little bit. The captain on a pirate ship is not your buddy. You hear stories about the New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick. There is a lot of reverence there. Guys are a little bit afraid of him. There's a great video, Julian Edelman telling a story about the first time he talked to Bill Belichick. They were in a hot tub and it was uncomfortable, and he was scared of Bill Belichick. That's a real thing. Your head coach needs to have reverence in the locker room. Number 2, what does your head coach's closet look like? People are going to be furious. What are you talking about? No, it's a joke analogy. The question is your head coach well organized? Is your head coach well organized? In college, I knew a guy who he lived across from me in the dorm. His dorm room had a pile of clean clothes all the time in the middle. Just literally like his entire room looked like a tornado, just like threw up all in the middle of his room. And he struggled to find his shirts when he needed them because he wasn't organized. He's like, I need to find this shirt. And he literally couldn't find it. He'd be like 3 days later, I found the shirt finally underneath this, underneath that, like under a pizza box. So you can't find what you need when you need it. You're not organized. It's a problem. Your head coach needs to be organized. He doesn't just call plays. He has so many other things to manage. He even has to manage more than just the 53 guys on the football team. You have the equipment staff. You have trainers. You have, you're playing a game in Miami. You got to organize the trip to Miami. You got to at least approve for the trip. You either pay someone to do the plan or you make the plan. And sideline organization is so underappreciated in the NFL. We saw a situation on Sunday where the 49ers beat the Saints. They scored a touchdown scored a field goal with seconds left, but they got the ball with 53 seconds left in the game. And the 49ers, when they got the ball back, with the down 1 needing to score, they had all 3 of their timeouts left. And having all 3 timeouts allowed them to do more and gave them more freedom on offense. And you know what that speaks to? It says that Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers head coach, is well organized. Guys know when they're supposed to be on the field. They're not screwing around. They're not doing anything wrong. The 49ers don't waste timeouts and burn timeouts unnecessarily early in games. They save their timeouts for when they need them. That is the sign of a well-organized head coach. Kyle Shanahan has the best record in the NFC. It's pretty clear Kyle Shanahan is a good NFL head coach. Number 3, the third thing an NFL coach needs is they need to have the capacity and capability to do high-velocity thinking. What does that mean? It's 4th and 2, you're down, you're in field goal range. Do you kick a field goal or do you go for it? Hurry up, you got to make a decision. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Stress, people yelling at you, you got to make a decision right now. You don't have time to think. It's got to happen ASAP, immediately, and you got to make the right judgment call. You got to have a head coach who can make high-velocity decisions when the pressure's on in big-time situations, late in games. If your head coach can't make a good decision in a situation like that, he's not a great head coach in the NFL. Number 4, aside from in-game decision-making, your coach also needs to have just general good decision-making. That's not complicated. We saw Freddie Kitchens the other day wore a really controversial t-shirt. You're just creating unnecessary drama. To me, that's a bad decision. And in fact, the Pittsburgh Steelers said our coach wouldn't do that because they know our coach has good decision-making. Freddie Kitchens' show was an example, a prime example, wearing a shirt that pissed off the other team that says, hey, I don't really make good decisions. If you can't make good decisions, forget in-game, out of the game, when you have time to sit, you have 30 minutes to sit and think about it, and you still make bad decisions, you can't be a head coach in the NFL, at least to not be a successful one. And then we get to number 5, the fifth most important thing, and the order of priority. Remember, there's other stuff that are more important than this, but this is still a prerequisite. You have to have this one trait if you want to be a good NFL head coach. You need to know the game. It's very clear. You got to know the X's and O's. You got to understand scheme. You need to have a good football mind. So I ask yourself, does your favorite team's NFL head coach have all 5 of these traits? Do guys have reverence for him? Do they respect him? Do they fear him a little bit? Number 2, is he organized? Does he get unnecessary penalties? Does he have all kinds of problems? Is he wasting timeouts? Number 3, is he a high-velocity thinker? Can he make a good decision right now with no time to think? And actually, sometimes that also can reflect on your preparation. Have you thought about that scenario before? Have you prepared to handle if it's 3rd down, if it's 4th and 2 on the whatever yard line with a minute left, you're down 2? What do you do, right? You're 3, whatever, 4 points, whatever you want to say. Whatever the situation is, have you prepared and thought about it in advance? And then number 4, does your head coach, your favorite team's head coach, is he a good decision maker overall? Forget in-game decisions. Let's talk about just generally, does he make good decisions? And then number 5, finally, is your head coach a good, smart football mind? Does he know X's and O's really well? By the way, Freddie Kitchens, the Browns head coach, failed all 5 of those things just now. Everything I just listed, he's bad at all of them. Freddie Kitchens is an awful head coach. I like him. No one fears him. He's not a good football mind. He's disorganized. It's a mess in Cleveland. He literally failed all 5 criteria as I went through them. Those are the 5 things you need to become and to be a great NFL head coach.